Oh, hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. This is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 135 people in 10 different countries. And the theme for this healing and all the healings this month is like a dual theme, productivity and good sleep. Yay! So this is February 2025, and this is the first in the set of 3 healings. That's the February triplet set. And then we'll do the February twin set later this month. And the twin set, just a reminder, has unique days, which may become typical because I'm doing it in March too, and we'll see if we all like it, if I like it. But the new days are Thursday and then a 2-day gap, and then Sunday for the twin set. So Thursday, so this month it's Thursday the 20th, and Sunday the 23rd is 23rd. So, but all the dates and themes for February and March is on my website, jwhealing.com. There's a page just for themes and dates. Thank you for my confirmation. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. I am quite fashionably late today, as usual. And part of that is because there will be an interesting pet update at the end of this live stream. Spoiler, we got a new cat. So we now have a cat. We didn't have a cat for a couple weeks. My husband could barely handle not having a cat. So we have corrected that situation in a of course, interesting way, because of course, so that story will be coming after the healing at some point. I'll make it its own chapter for the whole cat update. So there's that. That's part of why I was late, because I was putting together a couple photos to show you later. Alrighty. And then I was late just because I'm always late, of course. Well, it's a flexible start time. It's not actually late. Don't you know? Alrighty. So I want to talk about what we're doing today. Okay. So today's concepts and techniques. So how are we going to work productivity and sleep? Well, a couple ways, and they're not like obvious. It's like it's psychically logical, but maybe if you're not thinking about energy, you're like, oh, that's not working productivity. But it is, I promise. So the biggest thing that we'll do today, I think the most consequential thing, is probably, it sounds very obscure, but it really helps boundaries, safety, energy safety. Boundaries with invasive beings and boundaries with wax from people. So, because part of subconsciously why people are not productive is because of fear. Some of it is well-founded concern, and others is just they have other people's fear in their space. So we're definitely, one of the things we'll do today is clearing other people's fear out of your space. However, that can be very triggering for the people whose fear you're clearing out of their space. Like, for example, say, you know, mommy dearest is freaked out that, you know, you're going to move across country, or you're going to just be a better gardener than she ever was, or whatever. You finally get your shit in gear and do what you need to do, right? And so subconsciously, she has all these fears about that, or someone else in your life, whatever, right? And you have her fears in your space. So you feel them as your fear. It makes you hesitate because you don't realize it's not even your fear. Like this person in their survey, they were like, oh yeah, even if I start working my energy, I get too triggered. and that person has somebody else's fear in their space, because it wouldn't trigger you to heal your aura damage and balance your chakras. It would make you feel better, like really much better. But if you have someone else in your space, then they're kind of like pushing that driver's ed brake pedal for you, like, no, don't do that. Because then that would knock them out of your space, and and they couldn't control you anymore, and wouldn't that be terrible? So yes, you can clear their fear out of your space so that you can just go on along, but then they'll probably whack you like crazy, which is a concern. Of course, if you're good at repairing, then that's less of a concern, but it's still a concern. So that leads me to the number one thing that we're doing today. Maybe not first, but most important, I think, most consequential, is working, and it sounds pretty obscure, but one of your good karma windows in the back here, you have 7 good karma windows, and they're a part of your astral body aura. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and like on AccuDoll, like her 7th good karma window is back here. It's in her 7th astral layer, her 7th layer of her astral body aura, right? You have 7 chakras. They go up and down your spine. Each of those major chakras generates a layer in your aura. So your astral body chakras generate the layers of your astral body aura, right? Physical body chakras generate the layers of your physical body aura, right? So good karma windows, they're just in your astral body aura. And the 7th one, I was going to say oddly enough, but odd maybe isn't the right word, but I just didn't expect that the 7th window had this extra importance. But it kind of makes sense because, that's the first line of defense, the outer part of your aura, right? So the 7th good karma window has a much bigger role in your safety, energy safety, than the others. It's kind of like the first line of defense, because it's that outermost layer, right? And it helps with your 7th chakra and your 7th layer, and that's like empowerment, identity, focus, your command center, kind of 6th and 7th are your command centers, ideally. So that's going to be the most consequential thing. And it's really just repair and unblocking, but it's unblocking to this really like much more thorough level, with that in mind of like, okay, what else can I clear out of here that's going to make, like, sort of turn on my boundaries even more for my astral 7th layer, because then it's like this ripple effect, and then it'll strengthen your physical body aura as well. I mean, yeah. So that's that. So that will be probably the most consequential thing. But then the other things are very cool too and necessary. We're going to do some unblocking of the 4th layer of both auras, but especially on top here. I noticed people had like some hardness right here that was really getting in the way. So we're going to unblock the 4th layer in particular, which relates to the 4th chakra, which is motivation, self-love, self-care. But like, yeah, let's do it. Like inner cheerleader vibe, like just enthusiasm, that kind of thing. So we're going to unblock 4th layer, astral and physical, especially up top. And hopefully that'll unlock all this, in addition to, when combined with the good karma window, 7th good karma window work. And then we're going to unblock people's sleep slide. Sleep slide is a term I haven't used in a bit. So maybe that one I'll put up there. So sleep slide is just like your pathway to the astral when you go to sleep, and it can be extra blocked because of internal baggage that you have. And so that can contribute to like, it's hard to get to sleep, or it's hard to get back to sleep. Can be sleep slide issues. So I was noticing that some of my sample people that the angels pointed out to me had a lot of past life oppression energy on and around their sleep slide. So like it was like from people that were like, okay, you're not going to get away from my oppression even in your sleep. Like I don't even want you to be liberated in your sleep. So there was some like sort of extra thorough oppression that happened in past lives that is not yet cleared. So what better time to clear it than now? Speaking of oppression, I'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, so unblocking sleep slide more, and in particular to clear past life oppression energy affecting it. So you can get to sleep more easily, potentially, and or get back to sleep more easily. And then the other supportive thing is figuring out other people's fear. So I mentioned this already just for a moment. You can have other people's fear in your space. Like the example I already gave is, someone in their survey was like, well, I'm so triggered by even thinking about energy, so I can't clear energy, which, a lot of times the cause of that is you have someone else's fear in your space. So someone else's fear in your space, it tends to be even more irrational than your own fear in your space. Like fear, of course, is usually very not logical. I mean, you could have concern that is founded in like real things, real potential that you're concerned about, right? But fear, when it gets that extra charge and it's like, I'm afraid of this, or, to the point where you're really hesitant to do something or whatever, it's generally kind of silly, stuff. It's real, but it's, you could just clear it out. But when it's someone else's fear, it can seem extra giant because they're courting, like other people dump some kind of fear baggage in your space and then they're courting it. So they're hyping it up with their energy continually. So it's like this hypercharge, like, oh my gosh, I'm really afraid, but it's not even your energy. It's not even your fear. And that's pretty common actually. So like I already said, when we were talking about the good karma window, the 7th good karma window work we're going to do, it's good to clear that out. And it can help with productivity to clear out other people's fear. Because, there could be stuff that you're doing or that you want to do, it's on your sort of productivity to-do list that would trigger somebody else in your life. And what are you going to do? Just never do it? Because, I mean, people can have some really wacky reasons they're triggered. It's not like, they're triggered because you're going to become a flamethrower. No, they're triggered because you're going to get a good job, or they're triggered because you're going to live in a place where you're going to be happier, or they're triggered because you're going to clean up your house. Like, it's not like, like, oh, you should just not do what makes other people fearful. It's like, because this stuff is like so, it's just unhealthy to try to live in a way where you're not triggering anyone, right? So, but, there's a safety thing because then they'll whack you potentially if you're freaking them out. So we will do conflict resolution flowers, which helps to an extent. Angel-assisted conflict resolution flowers. So we will do that, but the main, I think the safety boost will be, so the conflict resolution flowers helps to chill out those people, but sometimes they're just not ready to get out of fear and punishment. And so then you just need to be stronger and safer to sort of, weather the storm, like so that it doesn't burst your bubble. So to speak, right? So that's what the good karma window number 7 work will help with, is just strengthen your overall boundaries for so that it's like you're just at a different vibrational level and the whacks just kind of bounce off you much more than they would otherwise. So there's that. So that's what we'll do today. That's all. Now, some of it's obviously helping sleep and productivity, and some of it is like, you just have to take my word for it that it'll help. Like the stuff that helps safety, energy safety, and energy boundaries. That is really the biggest thing I could see that would help productivity, even though it's not, really about safety and boundaries. And what else? Oh, and of course, when we do, in general, when we do the chakra repair and unblocking, that helps the theme a lot too, because we're gonna, do special, once we get the chakras repaired and unblocked, then we'll unblock extra to help the themes of good sleep and productivity. So that's sort of probably overlooked by people because I maybe don't emphasize it enough. Oops. But the chakra repair and unblocking generally is really helpful for the theme, because we'll keep working the theme into. So that's that. That's all. Oh, and I will say a little bit about politics, and I will give everyone a heads up right now about that. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm making it really big, so I told you. So if you didn't want to hear it, just fast forward or mute. You could mute, during this part. But anyway, so some of you know the U.S. political scene is a little bit batty right now, to say the least. And so I had spoken in the last set, as an aside, I'm sure, about my personal desire to, it's not that I don't participate in politics. I mean, I vote in every election, and I do think that's very important. And I donate politically every month to different organizations that I feel are helping to nudge the U.S. in a healthier direction. But I had been talking about sources of political news, and wanting to know the facts without the drama. And that even if, I would agree politically with a certain political commentator, I may not appreciate the emotional charge that comes with what they're saying. And I think there's, I'm not going to name the person publicly, but it's a couple commentators where I probably agree with them like 99% of their politics. But being aware versus being on alert, there's like a thing where I think people feel like you have to be on alert at all times versus just being informed and aware. And I'm more in the informed and aware camp. Like I don't choose to be on alert. So I want to know like high level what's going on in my nation's politics. So I do listen to independent media sources, but I don't need to be like, I don't need my heartstrings pulled. I don't need to be like in panic or anything. I mean, it's not that this stuff isn't really important. It's just that me being in fear or being in judgment or being, freaked out is not advantageous for me or my immune system or my health. So I donate politically to the causes that I feel, I donate monthly, not a lot, but what I can afford. But that's the action level that I do. I don't like demonstrate out on the street and stuff. Not saying that that's not valid. It's just at this time. It's not a part of my purpose. So anyway, so I was looking for political information without that I could somehow digest without the drama of it. And Mark Elias, I've mentioned him before. He's like a lawyer guy who does a lot of he's involved in a lot of cases, helping with voting rights and stuff like that, and civil rights. And so Mark Elias, M-A-R-C, and then Elias, E-L-I-A-S. And he has this newsletter. It's a free newsletter called Democracy Docket. Democracy, one word, and then docket, D-O-C-K-E-T, docket. Like a judge's docket, like a list of their cases, I guess. So that's a free newsletter, like an email that he sends out. And I have found that I can kind of skim read that and get enough of the details without the drama, and just like I just like read the headlines and a couple of the, skim some of the paragraphs, and that's enough for me. You can pay more and get like a more detailed level of it, but that's more than enough for me, just his free newsletter, the Democracy Docket newsletter. And then he has that's just his like sort of communication thing that he does. It's a whole organization. It's not just him, but then there's this group, Democracy Forward, which he's on the board of, and they're the ones that actually bring forward the lawsuits and stuff. And so I just started donating to them monthly. So like that's something that I do that, that's an action that I take, so I don't need to be on alert. I've chosen my organizations that I feel are, doing what's needed. And for me, that's what I do. Not saying that I would never go to a political demonstration, but we live sort of, I mean, we live in the capital of a state, but it's not like living in Chicago or something where the decision may be a little different, but still too, it's like with my life and what I do for a living, it's just not, it doesn't really suit me to be in the middle of a big demonstration. But anyway, not to say that that's not valid thing to do. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to mention that Democracy Forward group. And we donate monthly to the ACLU and also to Planned Parenthood. Last time when Trump was in office, the ACLU did a lot of like lawsuits against what he was trying to do, and they won a lot of lawsuits. And Mark Elias and his group did a lot of good, trying to roll back illegal stuff. I think high level, my understanding of it, not that I'm a political expert at all, but in case people are interested, it's like Trump and his people, they know a lot of what they're doing is technically not legal. Like, it goes against the Constitution, they're trying to just like completely destroy parts of the US government that were created by Congress, so they don't actually have legal rights to just poof, make it go away. But they're trying to do it anyway, and their sort of their strategy is to do it first, and then maybe you'll lose in court and some of it gets rolled back, but do it anyway. So like in his first term, it's like the battles, most of the significant battles, well, many of the significant battles are won in court. So that's why I'm donating to the ACLU. We have been donating to the ACLU, and we still do. And now I'm starting to donate to Democracy Forward, because that, I guess, is specifically the Mark Elias involved group. So that's all I wanted to say about that, really. And then we do, I mean, to be honest, we do have passports. We do have passports that are current. Not like we're, our bags are packed and we're ready to flee the country or anything. I mean, you have to get a work visa for somewhere or whatever, but I do have a passport. It's not out of the question that someday I might live in a different country. But anyway, at this point, here we are, and I donate, but I'm choosing to not be on alert, but I'm choosing to be informed. And I found that if it's written out, that Democracy Docket newsletter, I can just kind of glance at the headlines and not get the hype with it. And if I did want to listen to a little hype, the hype that I most appreciate these days, and just in tiny doses every once in a while, is that guy, I mentioned him, Hassan Abi. He's a live streamer. He live streams like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week or 7 days a week. I'm not sure how many days a week, but anyway, he definitely puts an emotional charge to what he's saying. But sometimes I don't mind it. So, but anyway, so that's the only political commentary I had. But I hope people are finding what's right for them as far as what level of, how informed do you want to be, what types of participation do you want to have, things like that. Because, it's important to consider your health. And obviously, it could be in your best interest to be informed, of course, and to try to make change happen. But there are various ways to do that. And for me personally, I know being on alert is not one of the ways that I need to do it. That's that. All right. I'm going to look at people's chat comments, and then we'll do quiet, 3 minutes of quiet, and then I'll start the healing. And the bulk of the live stream is the healing, where I'm healing the 135 people. Oh, fun facts, actually, of who I'm healing. I won't. So who I'm healing is not just anyone watching live, although you're welcome to watch live, even if you haven't purchased this healing, but I'm only healing the 135 people that purchased this set of 3 healings on my website. And the other, the other February set of healings and then the March sets are for sale on my website, which is jwhealing.com, just like this YouTube channel, similar to it, jwhealing.com. But so those are the people that I'll be healing. But anyone can watch live and heal themselves as they watch, just like use it as a walkthrough. Because when I do the healing, except for the first minute, I'll be talking out loud and explaining what I do as I do it. So it's like an all levels healing walkthrough. So there's plenty of new stuff, even for advanced healers, but newbies that are adventurous can rock it as well. Okay. So I'm gonna look at chat comments. Thank you for your comments. You can say where you're watching from if you want, what the weather's like. Someone says, hi, Janet, tuning in from Chicago. Sunny but cold. I'm sorry it's so cold. It must be really cold for you to say that. Here it is actually sunny at the moment. And it's maybe above freezing now. Like just above, maybe like high 30s, I would guess. Fahrenheit. Someone says, I can see and hear you. Thank you. Clearly from Lake Worth Beach, Florida. 78 degrees Fahrenheit. How beautiful is that? Can I say, angels, can you recycle these invasive beings and the people they came in on? Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, no, you could say whatever you want, but angels aren't going to recycle people, obviously. Well, maybe that's not obvious, but it's true. Angels don't recycle human being spirits. That's not going to happen. So, yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Someone says, hey, Janet, we can see and hear you in Chicago, 29 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny. Yeah, we were probably 29 last night, I think. Can see and hear you. Hello to you. 7 likes before me. Well, that sounds good. Yeah, if you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You don't have to, of course, if you don't want, but if you would, it helps the stream and it helps the video later. So that's my thumbs up for you. Someone says, hey, Janet, can see and hear you from partly cloudy San Francisco, 53 Fahrenheit. 53, that's kind of nice for February. Yeah, I would kill for 53 in February. February is usually our most severe. Well, maybe not severe as cold, but severe as snow. But so far, so good. But it's only the first week of February, so we'll see if we can get through all of February with no significant snow. That would be impressive. I don't know. Someone says, I'm so excited to focus on sleep this month. Thank you. Yep. Someone says, do you have a healing force? Oh, and by the way, if you have sleep issues, please consider filling out your post-healing surveys, even if you normally blow them off. Because there's always a question, well, not always, but there has been for several months now, and certainly will be this month, a question about your quality of sleep. So it's a good time to let me know how things are going with your sleep, so that in case there's something unique or the angels want to use you as a sample person, so have me like read in detail, and then the healing is in part customized to your issue. You know, it could help me help you to fill out your post-healing surveys. Someone says, do you have a healing for self-sabotaging behaviors? Yeah, but it's like different people will do self-sabotaging behaviors for different reasons. So I like to be more custom about it. And different people have different wow, lots of comments. Different people have different like levels that they're at. So wow, wait, somebody's like commenting 50,000 times. All right. Healing for self-sabotaging behaviors. First of all, for you, I'm not sure who you are. It doesn't seem like you're one of the people I'm healing, which is totally cool. But just so you know, with your YouTube ID, it doesn't immediately stand out to me like, oh, I know who this person is. So it seems like you're not one of the people I'm healing with this set, which is fine. But if you are, that means I just don't know your YouTube ID. So if you could email me and go, yeah, that was me, blah, 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 you know, or email me anyway and say, oh, this is my real name, my real life name. Introduce yourself if you want. At some point, I would be happy to get a hello email like that from you if you wanted. My email is janet@jwhealing.com. But anyway, just doing a read based on what I can. Like I would say just basic, getting more present, getting more safe could be a real big help, first of all. So even just like I have a short video playlist that is featured on my YouTube channel page, and like the grounding video. There's like a 7-minute grounding video where you ground and then you repair energy leaks in your shoulders and arms and legs. And even just that would be a good starting place. Also you could, you know, if you're watching along with this live stream or any of these big live streams, all the first sections, you know, grounding or repair, chakra repair, creative ring repair, good karma window repair, like those first 5 big sections, I call them your 5 essentials, and those just to get you more present and safe. Because it looks like it's not like you're fully safe and you're self-harming. You're just not fully safe, and therefore, you know, you have a lot of kind of off symptoms because of that. So I'd work on general presence and safety and grounding, stuff like that. As the sort of the first step. Someone says, I have been in desperate prayer for my children. Spirit led me here. Well, hello, hello. Will these 7 thank you messenger appreciate you so much? Okay, well, cool. You're welcome to watch and heal yourself as you watch. Someone says, hey, Janet, happy February. Happy February to you. Yes, happy February is not usually words that I put together. I should clear more resistance to February. It's like March, I can sort of feel like, okay, spring is on the way, spring is on the way. But February, it's like, February. I know. So, yeah, I'm sure. It sounds like I have some February related baggage to clear. I can hear and see you from sunny and windy Las Vegas. 69 Fahrenheit. Oh, that's kind of nice. So ready for the healing. Yes, me too. Someone says new cat. Yes, new cat. If you could hear her, she's I'll talk about her at the end, but you can't hear her because the microphone's too good probably, but she's contributing in a vocal way. Meow, 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 meow. I like to meow back sometimes. Someone says, yay, congrats on the new cat. Yes, I agree. Congratulations. Meow. Congrats on your new cat. Your skeleton in the background has a dandy hat. Yes. My spouse is to thank for that. That's his contribution to our live stream. He's putting the hat on. You have to stuff the hat with paper, apparently, to get it to sit just right, and he took care of that. So that is thanks to my husband that we have a skeleton with a top hat. I mean, thanks to me, the skeleton, because I obsess on healing bones. Healing bones is really cool. All right. Would this clear self-sabotaging, this healing? I mean, like I said, it's a good start, yes. This is prayers for your situation. Okay, yes. Part of it involves. All right. Where is someone says excited for all this work. I've been feeling really sluggish this week. All righty. Looking for messages that are actually for me. Someone says, hi, Janet. 54 degrees Fahrenheit in San Francisco. That is a nice temperature for February. There's someone commenting about like wanting to donate. I have a website where you could leave a tip if you wanted to. I don't have that whole thing enabled within YouTube because that's just another person wanting to take a cut from the amount of money I make. So there's still, a payment processor that'll take a cut if you donate from my website, but at least that's like the least amount of corporations trying to take a cut. So my website is jwhealing.com, and there's a purchase page, and there is a tip option on the purchase page if that's something you want. Also, the reason why I don't have like a way to financially support Wright on the YouTube channel is because I don't want people to feel coerced like that, peer pressure to donate during the live stream. Obviously that would make me a little more money, but karmically speaking, that could be iffy for me. I want this to be very clear that it's spiritual instruction without a fee. So that if you donate, it's just your choice. It's not like you owe me because of any reason. So there's that. Probably the amount of chat comments is a bit extra. But anyway, someone says, okay, thank you. I meant okay, a certain person has lots of beings attached to him, and I want to move him and those beings out of my space. Yeah, so you just imagine the person at a distance and, like, see all their beings that could possibly mess with you, sort of just imagine them as clouds above that person and just say, "Angels, can you recycle as many of those beings as necessary?" That's how you would do that. Um, yeah, it's common that with people that are invasive or, intense, that they have a lot of, invasive beings within their space that they're handling, and then that kind of makes them a jumping being jumping into other people's spaces. So, you know, it could be that most of the issue is just with their beings and not actually with that person. So you just, you imagine the person and don't do anything to them, and then just imagine all their beings and just say, "Angels, can you recycle as many of those beings as possible?" Or any of those beings that are messing with me. That kind of idea. Someone, yeah, the directly commenting to other people, maybe, maybe, like, it's up to you, but, like, a lot of times people are doing this stream for, like, very inward reasons. They're, like, in a very inner space, and so if someone's, like, directly commenting to them, rather than just saying, "Hey, I'm excited," but just, like, singling out somebody, it can kind of bring them out of that introspective space with their angels and their subconscious and conscious mind and higher self and stuff that's probably most advantageous, during a live stream like this. So it's up to you, but there's that. Okay. So cool. So let's do the 3 minutes of quiet. During which time I finish my prep. And I say hi telepathically, which is non-verbally, to the 135 people that I'll be healing in this healing, which, to be clear, are the people that purchased the healing set on my website in advance. So 3 minutes of quiet. Here we go. Okay, thanks for waiting. So this is the start of the healing and the healing walkthrough. So go ahead and unblock your hand chakras extra. That's you have a big hand chakra in the palm of each hand and a big and a fingertip chakra in each fingertip. So you have those 10 fingertip chakras and then the 2 big hand chakras, right? So set those with your intention to be a metallic gold color, like all the blinking stuff all around me and this gold glitter. So you don't have to be able to see energy to do that. Just do it with your thought or your intention. None of this requires you to see energy. Vision can come with time, but it's not necessary. So you set these energy centers to metallic gold color. So then as they spin, that's the color they're generating, the color of energy that they're generating. And why metallic gold? Because it's a fast moving vibration, but not so fast that it's like makes you spacey. Like white would make you too spacey, but gold is not too fast like that. So you can use gold light. So go ahead and use your hands to heal your forearms and even your wrists. I'm sorry, your your wrists, and I showed your elbow. Yeah, heal your elbows. Elbows, wrists, all these places, they're places that you can have energy leaks, and you don't want that. You want your energy to just like there are some places where the energy is supposed to go out, like all the major chakras, the energy goes out into a layer of your aura, right? But a lot of other places, like energy channels in your arms, the energy isn't supposed to spurt out. You know, if it spurts out, you have leaks, right? So just use gold light and repair any leaks in your shoulders and your arms, just with your intention. And you can do that directly in the case of shoulders and arms fairly easily. You know, like just use one hand to heal one side, the opposing side, you know. But you can do it with a copy also, which is kind of fun. So you make a copy out in front of you of, you know, your arms and your hands and your shoulders. Yeah, just repair the leaks using gold light in your shoulders and your arms and your hands. Shoulders and arms and hands, that flow, the bigger that flow is, it tends to be easier for you to manifest and make stuff happen, make change happen in your life. So again, you're using gold light and you're either doing direct healing like that, or you're using a copy out in front of you. We're going to be doing a lot of where you make a copy out in front of you for different parts of your energy system. And heal and unblock your shoulders and arms and hands. Unblock your hand chakras more, because when they're unblocked more, they're more effective in generating energy. You get a bigger energy flow. Unblock your hand chakras. And you can do that directly like that. You know, one unblocking the other, or you can make a composite copy of both your hands at once and unblock like that. Unblock your wrists. All right, good enough. So grounding, let's do that. That's the first of the 5 essentials. So grounding is your connection to the core of the earth, and it's for releasing and receiving. So it's and make it wide. So recreate both your groundings, one for your astral body aura and astral body energy system, one for your physical body aura, physical body energy system. Make them nice and wide as all your auras, and make them wide all the way down to the core of the earth. I would suggest that you make them both the same color, because you want your body and your spirit to be on the same page so you can be as present as possible in your physical body. So make them both red or orange or yellow, your favorite shade of whatever those colors you like. The other colors, it's not that I don't like purple or like green or whatever, but for you, the lower chakras, especially of your physical body, that could be overly triggering. So red, orange, and yellow is like more like good all-purpose for all the chakras. So, and since you're bringing your grounding up nice and high, go ahead and bring it up as high as your third chakra. So third chakra is below your sternum bone, where your sternum bone ends, just below that. That's your third chakra. So that has to do with taking action. So productivity, good sleep, that's third chakra, which is, you know, the themes for this healing set. Well, healing's all this month. So bring it up that high, all the way up to your third chakra. And while we're at it, you can unblock your third chakra just a little bit extra. So third chakra, yellow is actually a good color for your third chakra. And this is a basic chakra shape, right? Open cylinder. So round opening in the first 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the round openings is in the front and the back. So like that, but in there, right? And smaller than that. So but just, you can make a copy out in front of you of your third chakras. You have 2, your astral body and your physical body, third. Just unblock those a little extra. We're going to be doing chakra work on all of them, but since third is directly related to the theme and you want your grounding to come up to your third, why not? A little bit of that now. So just unblock your third enough. It's like uncork it in the back. So it flows out the back. The energy flows out the back as much as possible. So your energy flowing out the back of your third would then go in your third layer and flow in the front to the front, and then it would go back in your third. So it circulates around. And if you don't understand, like, okay, chakras and aura layers, how does that work? I do have a 3-video set called 7 Chakras Aura Layers Flow that you could watch. It's like 25 minutes total, but I'm like demonstrating and showing. You know? If that's your thing. So that's a playlist. I'll link it below later. 7 Chakras Aura Layers Flow. I'll link that later in the comment section. Oh, right. So now that you've made your groundings, just make a copy of them out in front of you and unblock your groundings with gold. So you imagine the blocks in your grounding, and that could be just stuff that people have dumped in there or stuff that you're avoiding, and just melt it all away with gold light. And if you're really stressed out lately, but you're like, oh, my grounding looks perfect, it's probably not perfect. You're probably just like in denial. So, I mean, it could be perfect, but give yourself points for noticing what's not right in your space, you know, and then you can change it. So just wash through all the junk that's in your grounding and melt it away. So it goes down to the core of the earth and gets dissolved and goes back to wherever it belongs. Melt all the drama away. So you may have, you know, like people, I mentioned politics at one point, you know, so you may have some of that, you know, in your space, maybe from people that you know. And again, you may agree with these people politically, but it just, for some reason, you know, perhaps they're being invasive. And so you can melt their energy out of your space so that you then have free will and you can set your energy however you want to. And indie grounding is where you check the outer surface of your groundings and use gold light and you melt away attachments going into your grounding from other people. Because that doesn't, it blocks up your grounding if you link it to other people. Doesn't mean you can't work with other people or communicate with other people, but if you're linked up to them in that way, you're all kind of screwed all at once. Big pain sandwich. Melt all that away. Your grounding is just for you. Alrighty, good job, good job. Aura repair. So you have 17 auras, which is a lot, but it's easy enough to repair them all at once if you want. What we're going to do. So you have your astral body aura, your physical body aura, and then the other 15 are called Wei Chi auras. WEI space CHI, Wei Chi. Is the Wei Chi, so that's the 15, and then there's astral body and physical body auras. But just imagine them all at once out in front of you. And they're if you're pretty present, they're all in the same place. So it could look like one bubble, but it's really 17 bubbles in the same place. And just comb through them. You're looking for rips, and that's what you're going to be repairing with the gold light from your hands. So first, just wash everything out that's not you. Give yourself a little breathing room so you can do this in comfort. So wash out your auras and just get a sense of the rips. And you could rip them. You could repair them locally. You know, like if there's one spot with a whole bunch of rips, you could just focus on that one spot and repair it all at once. But we're going to repair all the rips at the same time, no matter where they are. Which the bonus of that too is then, well, it's more time efficient, and maybe you don't trust your intuition on all the locations of all the rips. So if you just imagine them all at once and repair them all at once, it's more efficient. So you make an image of a rip, and you say with your intention, okay, this rip represents all the rips that I currently have in my 17 auras, right? And so that's your composite copy rip. It represents all the rips. And then you clean it out and repair it, right? So you clean it out using sticky gold wax, which is gold light from your hands that with your intention, it sticks to everything that's not you and makes a big lump. And then you lift out the lump. So that's all the junk with the gold wax, and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And you want the gold, and do it again, and you want the gold wax to stick to hard objects that were thrown at you that might still be in the rips. And you want it to stick to invasive people's energy, invasive beings' energy, anything that's not you, right? So you have it all stick into a big lump, and then lift all of it out at once. Angels, here you go. And then, so it should be pretty cleaned out now. So you just use lots of gold light to get the repair going. All right, so that probably repaired most of your rips, but you may have one or two that are a little stubborn. So let's do it one more time for the leftover rips. So you make a new composite copy and have it represent any rips you still have. And then we'll do the same process again. But we could add onto it, you know, just angels, just ask your angels, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are in the way of this repair process? Okay, and then just sticky gold wax, get all the junk out. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, get the junk out. Angels, here you go. Get nice and deep in there with the gold light. All right. So that's aura repair. And then just double check on the outer surface of all your 17 auras. Check for like any leaks. They'd probably be pretty tiny, the ones at this point. Like maybe it feels like a little bit of air spurting out of a tire or something. So just use extra gold light there. Maybe you missed a couple hard objects that were still there, so you can pop those out, pop out any hard objects and have them explode as they pop out, and just finish your repair. Pop out any leftover hard objects, do a little extra gold light repair. You can redo your gold buffer zones. I do have a video on that. If you search Janet Wright gold buffer zones, you'll find it, but In the meantime, you can just ask your angels to remake them if you don't know how. Ooh, fix my camera. There we go. Alrighty. Gold mesh spheres of your Wei Chi auras. Sometimes we don't do those, but they're nice to repair. So each of your Wei Chi auras, which as I said is strong boundaries energy, it's comes and goes with you as a spirit. It's a part of your astral body energy system. Those 15 auras, each of them have 3 gold mesh spheres within them that wrap around you. So 1, 2, 3, and they generate a lot of gold light if they're repaired and washed off. They just look like gold mesh and generate gold light all the time. So you can just imagine all those gold mesh spheres. So there'd be 15 innermost ones, 15 middle ones, 15 outermost ones all around you as a spirit, and just use gold light and wash them off and repair them all at once. You want them to do their job. Sending gold light around the Wei Chi auras, making a nice big gold force field. And also they send the gold light inward towards your energy meridians, the traditional Chinese medicine energy meridians of your body. So they're important. There's lots of gold light to repair your gold mesh spheres of your Wei Chi auras. And a little bit extra grounding unblocking. Because it can be working fine, but then, you know, something blocks up along the way and then it just kind of becomes a big traffic jam. So it's good to periodically check your grounding, especially if you start feeling distracted or kind of edgy, like, you know, nervous or something. Unblock your ground. All right, good job. So your creative rings are also a part of you as a spirit. And there are 3 of them up here, 1, 2, 3. So 3 gold rings right above your astral 7th chakra. And your 7th chakra's energy is supposed to be able to travel through them if they're unblocked enough. And if they're unblocked enough and whole enough and safe enough, then it's just for you. And it generates lots of gold light that gets sent downward to help your chakras. And so it's really useful. But if they're kind of beat up and they have a lot of cords going into them, it can be very overwhelming. So one of the creative rings, like the top-down view, if the flaps are open, this is overwhelming. You don't want the flaps open. But that could happen because you have cords going in and other people or invasive beings are sending energy in, and it just kind of puffs out in an irritated state. These flaps will puff open. So you don't want that. So just imagine the 3 gold rings, and you want to use gold light to repair any damage. There could be cracks or missing pieces. Just let the gold light clean it up and repair it. And also let the gold light melt away cords from other people and invasive beings. So that those flaps that I showed can just relax and fall shut. So that's just like a nice smooth round surface on the edge of the ring. Melt those cords. And again, like I said, you know, with all the political dramas, you can have cords from people that agree with you politically. You can have cords from people that disagree with you politically. So just melt all that away so that the flaps can relax and fall shut. And just melt away blocked energy around near the rings if there's any blocked energy. You can imagine if there are people that are still corded to those creative rings, just melt the cords. Right? Don't do anything to the people, just melt the cords from those people. And then if they're invasive beings corded to your creative rings, which is possible, you can say, angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are cording my creative ring? Like I said, you want your 7th chakra energy to be able to travel through the creative rings easily. And new energy, that's one of the pathways that you bring in your new energy is down from above into your 7th chakra through your creative ring. Unblock that inner space. All right, good enough. Okay, so we're going to repair and unblock all chakras just for general unblocking and also to help the themes of good sleep and productivity. So we'll use composite copy technique again. So this is the basic chakra shape for all your chakras. Some of them are bigger or smaller or whatever, but this is the basic shape of all of them. So open cylinder with round openings on either end. So just make a composite copy that, it can look somewhat similar to that. And just say with your intention, okay, well, this represents all my chakras of my body and my spirit. So including all the cool acupuncture points, those are chakras. I will call them minor chakras just because they're not the 7 major chakras. So acupuncture chakras, all sorts of, big energy channel type chakras, the major chakras, everything, right? So have your composite copy represent all your major and minor chakras of your body and spirit, and just use lots of gold light. And you want to repair any damage and melt cords and melt away energy blocks. And you do all that with gold light, so it's pretty easy. And the blocks can be wrapped around the chakra, stuffed inside the chakra, or near one, like sort of stacked up around the round openings. So just you can melt them all. And your intention as you're doing this work is that you want to repair and unblock and do your work to the extent that's healthy and gentle to do right now. So if your intention is that, then that'll happen. So because you want to be able to create a lot of change, but change that you can handle, at a pace you can handle is the thing. So just healthy and gentle. And you can lift out the energy blocks from your composite copy chakra. So lift out the energy blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. You can blow them up at that point or just melt them with gold light. Lift out the blocks, melt them with gold light. Lift out the blocks, melt them with gold light. You can also lift them out and hand them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? Lift out the blocks. Angels, can you help me with this? And then for the theme of good sleep and then productivity. You're going to unblock them both at once. I was thinking, you could first unblock for one, then the other, but it doesn't really matter. So just lift out all the blocks in the way of productivity and in the way of good sleep, and/or in the way of good sleep, and you can blow them up or melt them away with gold light. Lift out the blocks in the way of the themes, melt them with gold light. Lift out the blocks in the way of your good sleep and in the way of your productivity. Lift out blocks in the way of your good sleep or in the way of your productivity. And melt them with gold light. And melt cords. You can say too, you know, if there are any invasive angels, can you recycle any invasive beings messing with my chakras? And you can do that again. Just imagine any invasive beings that are still messing with your chakras. You can imagine them as like a big bunch of clouds. And just say, angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings? All right, good enough. Okay, so I explained this in the intro. This, I think, will be the biggest thing that we're doing today. Normally now we would do the 5th essential, which is repair and unblock all your good karma windows, which are back here in your astral body aura. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They look like triple frame windows, which, or you could, I think officially it's called a concentric squares is what I mean by triple frame windows, but that's a triple frame window image right there. That's what that looks like in general. So there are 7 of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 back here. And they're different colors based on what color your energy is in that layer. So if you set your first chakra to red, then this one will be red. If you set your second chakra to orange, then the one in your second layer would be orange. You know, so red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple. Red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple. So you can just comb through all of them first. You want to repair all of them and unblock all of them with gold light. So you kind of imagine, you know, okay, this is your astral body head, and then you're in your astral body aura. You have your 7 good karma windows. And you want to comb through them. You don't, it's like, it can be painful if you have energy that's not yours coming through here. So the more you heal it and unblock it, the more it just becomes comfortable and not overwhelming. And it can also undo some knots that you might have in your back of your head. You can go ahead and make an extra red grounding for the back of your head, like the base of your skull. What? Make an extra red earth energy grounding, bring it up from the earth, center of the earth, and just release extra pent up stress in the base of your skull. So usually we also do other things like base of skull points, acupuncture points back here, which we will do, but I want to do more of this 7th chakra, good karma window, especially the 7th layer, good karma window. So again, that would be purple if you set your astral body chakra and your physical body, astral body 7th and physical body 7th chakra to purple. It's oriented this way in the top of your head. It's not this giant, of course, but so the round opening is there, and then in there, set them both to your favorite shade of purple. So then your 7th good karma window would be purple, just automatically at that point. And just You want to repair it. You want to melt any cords going into it from anybody. You say, angels, if there are any invasive beings cording here, can you please recycle them? So I talked about how in the intro, right at the start, when I was talking about the theme and the concepts, that the seventh good karma window is important, extra important for boundaries and safety, energy safety. So, I mean, you can even do really detailed work and like think, okay, well, the triple frames, are they all purple, or are some of them black, or some of them silver, some of them white? They're not all purple. It's probably because you have some invasive beings still hanging on. Angels, can you recycle these invasive beings? Or maybe you have cords from people or hard objects from people stuck in the frames. So I'm going to draw one of my artistically questionable diagrams. So this is not a great drawing, but obviously. But so this is the seventh chakra, good karma, seventh layer, good karma window of somebody that I'm healing. And so these are hard objects that are jammed in here, these black lines. And then this is like parts of the triple frame that isn't black, isn't purple anymore. It's black just because of all the foreign energy that comes in through the damage. Like it's easy for people to cord and invasive beings to core the damaged areas. And so then it's no longer your energy right there. So it's really hard to use this as like a safe place, to kind of, have a boundary. It's hard to have a boundary then if it's not your energy there. So you can just remove out the hard objects and you repair any gashes left by the hard objects. And just check all four corners of the good karma windows and just, I mean, the hard objects can be anywhere, but a lot of times they are in those corners. So just kind of pop out the hard objects and let them blow up. And you don't have to make your good karma windows. If you just use gold light and get rid of stuff that's not you, they'll reform themselves. And you can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in this area or messing with this area, can you please recycle them? I'm going to draw another one. Okay. So another person that I'm healing, this actually is a little more accurate as far as like how it looks. It's still larger than actual size, but anyway, so this is what his looks like now. So it's repaired, but it's still, he's got one of his parents just hanging out there quite a bit. And so again, it's hard to have an actual boundary there if it's not you there. So it's not an agreement that he has with them. It's just like if something's always been a certain way, you forget that it's actually your space to claim. So I think it's just like it just doesn't occur to him. I think even his parents would be okay with it, if he cleared them out. So you can say, angels help me to do what's safe and, good for me to do right now. So, if you're like fearful that, oh, the backlash is going to be just so big, it'll be so terrible, don't, just say, angels help me to do what's healthy and gentle, right? And then you'll notice something that is healthy and gentle to fix with your 7th good karma window. So just melt away what's not you. And, it could be somebody that is actually, they feel like they're protecting you because, it is it's a key boundaries location. And so it could be that there was a time in your life where you were just like willingly checked out. You're like, mama, I can't handle any of this, and so that person stepped in to like try to prop up your boundaries. But, they're in the way of you handling your own boundaries. So just you can just say hi, thanks for the support. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be strong now myself. Because with them there, it just doesn't work right as a boundary. So again, just say thank you to the people that meant well. I mean, there could be people that are just trying to mess with you, but there can be people who really, really meant well, like from the bottom of their heart, and they just saw that you were like not protecting yourself, So if that's the case with anybody, just, go ahead and thank them, but be like, hey, I'm really going to try to have my boundaries now. I'm going to draw somebody else now. Another sample person. Okay, so once you have like the basic repair of your 7th good karma window, nice, you can do more like sophisticated work where there can be actual things, like they sort of look like brands, like burnt into the window part, because there's the window frame, right? But then there should be like a flowy, in this case, purple sort of window there, where it flows and it's purple and it's translucent. light goes through it, you know, but you could see that it's purple, right? But there can be a lot of stuff like burnt into that, like a brand, you know, like if someone brands like a cattle or something, you know, they burn it into it, right? And so I was looking at a sample person now, and so she needs that kind of more detailed work now. So like this is her 7th good karma window, but she has this sort of image branded in to her 7th good karma window. And it could be all sorts of different shapes, you know, whatever somebody had as their little brand, you know, like, you know, I'm in charge of you or whatever. You know, typically the brands are very oppressive. It's not like that sort of benevolent thing like, oh, you know, I mean, I guess somebody might mean well, but it's a very like kind of heavy way to try to protect somebody is to brand their 7th good karma window. So it's certainly not helpful because again, it like wrecks with the flow of it all. And so it doesn't work as well as a boundary. So if you have, so kind of comb through your 7th good karma window and allow yourself to see to the extent that's healthy and gentle, or if not see, imagine, but just some kind of brand that's burnt into your 7th good karma window and just lift it out. You can surround it in lots of gold light. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this, can you recycle them? So that way there's no drama. And then you could just like melt the brand. That's kind of fun. Like melt it totally. Or you can, comb out the brand and just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this? And then just melt any people hooked into it. And then you can hand it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with that? So, and just do a little repair now that that brand is not burnt in there anymore. So it just looks like a brand, but you could call it a symbol or a device or whatever. But again, so you want that, you want to see the frame and you want to see like a flowy purple energy field in the center part of the frame without brands and weird stuff there. So you can lift out another branded device or whatever that's in there, lift it out. Say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this, can you please recycle them? And then just melt it away or blow it up. And again, just heal this 7th good karma window. You want it to be flowing and just you, so that you can really set a nice, strong tone for that whole outermost layer of your astral body aura. So, I'm going to do one more just because, not because we haven't already done a lot, but there's another sort of type of block there that if I describe them, maybe it's easier for you to notice. So this one, it's easier to notice if you look at the good karma window like in profile. So you like that's the good karma window from the side view. So if you're viewing like if you were to see Acudal from this, right, then it would just look like a purple line right there. If you turn her, then you can see the frames and everything, right? But this way, you just see the line, right? A purple line for all the side view of her good karma window, her 7th good karma window. But then, like, it's essentially a bunch of like sort of overlays, like thin energy blocks right over the window part. So on profile, it would look like that, right? There's just a bunch of, and those energy blocks could be white or black. And so you just kind of comb through your 7th good karma window and pull out those sort of stacked up blocks and melt them away. Pull them out, melt them away. Pull them out. You say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this stuff, can you recycle them? And melt it away. Pull out those blocks. Hand them to your angels. Angels, here you go. So then you can just sort of check all the good karma windows again. Just see. You don't want any energy that's not yours kind of woven through them. If it's just you there, then you'll be bringing in your new growth through these windows. Maybe a little bit of like gentle energy from the moon and the stars, just a teensy bit. Good karma energy from the universe. But if they're not repaired properly, then you could have invasive beings or invasive people kind of weaving through them. So just keep using gold light. And if there's any of that like drama coming through, just you can freeze it and lift it out. Angels, here you go. Lift it out. Angels, here you go. And then we can do your the stuff that we do with it usually, which is base of skull points and also flow zone. So flow zone is in that same area, behind the neck, behind the base of skull points, but in the physical body aura, and it also includes in and around the neck. I usually like showing, not that, this one, because that's the physical body right there, physical bones. So home through that area. So there's no windows. It's just the layers of your physical body aura there behind your neck and base of skull. So you can get like a big lump of blocked energy right there. So you don't want that. Just use cold light to melt it away. You might have a lot of blocks around your throat and in your throat. So just melt them away with gold light. One person I'm healing for the first time, this woman paid for him to get the healings, and he has some kind of an ex that he used to date. Like a lot of her energy is wrapped around his neck. I think she probably thought he wasn't listening, so she decided to make like an energy turtleneck of all her messages to him and put them in his face. So it just melt away if you have any invasive communicators that have tried to give you an extra clothing item here of all their energy. Just melt all that away from around your physical neck. One person I'm healing, she has that, but it's from past life people. She's had it for like the last 2 lives. That's the thing. If you don't clear this stuff, you're bringing it into your next life. So may as well clear it now. But anyway, so you may have past life invasive communicators that have wrapped messages around your throat. So, but you can melt it. It doesn't matter how old it is. You can still melt it with cold light. Better late than never. Much better. So then now the third thing that we do, usually in the good karma windows section, is base of skull points. Oops. Points meaning acupuncture points, which are minor chakras, which are super cool. Right there. So base of skull points, it's those 2 lines of dots One is roughly at the height of the top of the ear lobe, and one is roughly at the height of the bottom of the earlobe. So all those dots in the diagram that you see there, those are chakras, right? They're acupuncture points, which are chakras. And so just all the lines that you see in the diagram, those are energy meridians in traditional Chinese medicine. And so you can imagine any of them like red flowy tubes, and I mean, they could be like all beat up and have holes in them and leaks, and they could be blackened or whatever, but you want to heal them with gold light so that they're red and flowy and they're not leaking. And I'll link below later in the comment section a playlist of 12 meridian videos, so you can see, a lot of the meridians and the flow, and if you want to study that further and use it for energy healing, inspiration. You can comb through the points and outward and just drag out blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. Drag them out. You say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this, can you recycle them? And then melt away the people from these blocks. Melt yourself out of the blocks. You may have resistance. Just melt them all away. So again, comb through your base of skull points, drag out any blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, that are in those points, in those meridians, and or just outside of those meridians in the auras. So you get a big pile of blocks. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in this junk, or corded to this junk? And then melt away people and their cords out of it, and melt yourself out of it, so that it can all melt. And again, you can give yourself a little massage in your base of skull, and that red, nice red grounding to connect the base of your skull all the way down to the core of the earth. Let go of any built up tension there, all the way down to the core of the earth. All right, good job. Woohoo! Good job, good job. Okay. So angel assisted conflict resolution flowers. This is its own video now. I do have a bunch of short videos now. A whole short video playlist, which is featured on my YouTube channel page. And these videos came out since late December and January. Most of them came out. I will be making more in the future, just not releasing them every day like I did. A bit much for me. But anyway, so there are a lot of good options, short walkthroughs, and this is one of them, angel assisted conflict resolution flowers. The point of angel assisted conflict resolution flowers is to help you with interpersonal relations. It's probably most often used when people are whacking you and you want them to stop. And this is a clean way to possibly get them to stop. There's no way to get them to stop that's clean karmically. And you want to be clean karmically because you don't want to attract invasive beings to you by doing things that are dark and controlling of others, because you'd be, not only because karma is real, and so you'd have to pay back tenfold at some point. Well, not tenfold, but whatever, karma's a bitch. So, you don't want to do it because it's bad karma, but also it would attract, darker energies to you, which would then screw you. So, you can't control people, right? But it's not in your best interest to control people, but the conflict resolution flowers can help people get a little more balanced so that they can kind of click out of that mode where they're whacking you. And as we have discovered over time, the more compassion and sort of neutrality you can have when you're creating the flowers can make them more effective. So if you make a bunch of flowers that say, like, leave me the fuck alone, they're not going to work so well. Angel assisted means that you're making the flowers and you're handing them to your angels so they can edit them and tweak them a little so that they're as effective as possible, and as they're the vibe of them is like more approachable for the people, so it's easier for them to like kind of get it, right? And then also you're asking your angels to only deliver them if they would help, because sometimes backlash people are just so triggered that even if you say good morning to them, they're gonna whack you a whole lot, so that way the angels decide if they should be delivered or not, right? So let's do it. That was explaining, which took forever. So let's do it. Okay, so you imagine anybody that could be a backlash person for you, anybody that might be invasive with you. It doesn't matter. You might not know these people. They could be people you worked with 20 years ago, people live down the street from you, whatever. It doesn't matter. It could be your siblings that you certainly know whack you all the time, whatever, right? So, but just imagine all those people like in a row far from you and don't do anything to them. Right? Just imagine those people and then go ahead and make energy healing flowers for them, right? Out of universal healing energy, and just have good intentions while you do it. Okay, you want these people to be more balanced. If they're more balanced, they're more likely to not whack you, right? Because whacking is something people do when they're already kind of screwed up. So just make energy healing flowers for those people, and you can put messages in them like that are uplifting, like, hey, I hope you're having a good day. Hey, you have angels. Your angels can help and guide you and protect you. Hey, I know life can be really challenging and I'm sorry about that. Hey, karma is real. And, if you respect yourself and you respect others, it's definitely always in your best interest. And then so you put enough goodness in there and some messages, and you got the universal healing energy you made it with, which would be gold or rainbow colors or both. And just say, angels, can you please edit these flowers and only deliver them to those people if it'll help? Okay, so then let's do it one more time, and I won't have to explain so much this time. Right? So just imagine all your potential backlash people, and just make a lot of energy healing flowers for them out of universal healing energy, gold or rainbow colors, and just put uplifting messages like, hey, you have angels. I hope you have a good year. I hope you're having a good day. Hope you have a good month. I'm sorry life is challenging. I'm sorry about that. And karma's real. It's always in your best interest to respect yourself and respect other people. Angels, can you edit this and deliver them if it'll help? All right, good job. So that's that. Oh, you could notice, how many of your flowers got delivered by the angels and how many was it better that they didn't get delivered. You could notice that, like maybe half your flowers got delivered, or maybe 90% you got delivered. I mean, don't take it as like an insult or something, but that can be useful to know. Okie doke. So I'm going to look for a minute at some sample people to see what is best for us to do next. So I'll be quiet when I do that for a minute. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have you take back your physical body chakras. What does that mean? So you may have, I mean, at some point your body was like really young, like you were a newborn. And so your body was like, 2 months old, 3 months old, 4 months old, whatever. Right. And then even when you were like an adolescent or an adult, you may have, maybe you had surgery for something, or you just went to a dentist, or, there was some kind of physical body care that you received, maybe acupuncture, maybe massage, whatever, right? And some practitioners and surgeons and doctors are very clean, and they don't leave any of their energy around your physical body chakras or your physical body. Some parents are very clean, and they also, once you are of age, like maybe 12 or 13, they don't cord your first chakra and they don't cord the other chakras. And so they don't have energy in your physical body space. But those people, there are a lot of people that aren't so clean, maybe accidentally. And so they leave some of their energy around your physical body. And so it's easy enough to clear it away. And that way it's easier to be more present. It's like if you have a rock in your shoe, it's very uncomfortable to fully put your foot in your shoe, right? So say your physical body is the shoe and your spirit body is that foot, And so if you have, say, a dentist that you went to, or a dental hygienist that you went to clean your teeth, maybe some of her energy's in there. It's like a rock in the shoe. So it's not as comfortable. It's harder to be fully present, right? So if you get rid of that dental hygienist's energy from your chakras and your auras and whatever, then it's like, oh, much better, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just, specifically the chakras, but we could do the auras a little bit as well, the organs, all that stuff. So that's that. So now we're going to do that. So you can just imagine your physical body chakras along your spine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, they're just a bunch of cylinders, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is oriented that way. And just wash everybody out. Wash away, you know. Now, if you're a young child getting this and listening to this on a spirit level, you know, and you're 5 years old, well, then you would keep that first chakra cord to your parent because you're only 5, right? But, you know, most of the people I'm healing are adults. And so there's no reason for anybody to be courting you. Even if you're an adult that's had a lot of physical accidents or illnesses, it's your body's going to work better if you're the one owning your chakras. If you're not owning your chakras, even if the person means really well and they help you with your care, say, it's still going to be like that rock in the shoe. So you want to wash people out, other people out of your physical body chakras so that it's more comfortable for you to be there. Right? It doesn't mean that now you can't go get massages or now you can't go to the dentist, you know? It just means that you want to, you know, just you're the one running your physical body chakras. You're the one in your physical body, right? So then even if someone's accidentally a little unclean, it doesn't matter because you're there, right? And then you can, if something, a little something happens, you just wash them right out. Not a problem. You know, maybe some people have like kind of bossy older siblings or something, or bossy younger siblings that do the same thing. You're just going to wash everybody out of your physical body, 7 chakras. And your physical body, your shoulders, your legs, your hips, your feet, your arms, your hands. And again, you know, say someone's there because they care about you and they're worried about you. Well, you know, then you might, as you wash them out, you might say, you know, I really appreciate all your compassion for me. You know, it's just that some people might not have perfect boundaries when they're compassionate, you know, but it doesn't mean that you can't appreciate that they are compassionate. You just wash them out at the same time. You know? So you can say, hey, thank you so much for your empathy, for your kindness, you know, for your concern for me, you know, because that's not nothing, you know, that somebody actually cares at that level for you. That's cool, you know, but you don't have to keep that rock in your shoe just because they're a little messy with their compassion. You know, enjoy the compassion, but lose the rock in the shoe part of it. So just pop everybody out of your physical body chakras. Thank them for their kindness and their concern. So you want to be in every part of you, even if, like, say you have a glasses that you're wearing, or you have a knee replacement. So it's not, you know, like there's something that's not, you know, there's something plastic or however they make the replaced knee or the replaced hip or whatever, or you have, you know, plates or screws from a surgery, you know, whatever. Like, own that though. Like, have your energy running through it and nobody else's, just as if it's a bone. Right? So just everything in your physical body and around it, just wash everybody else out. It's your stuff, your glasses, your hip replacement, whatever it is. Just wash everybody else out. It's just you as a spirit and your physical body, just so it can be nice and flowing and you can have as strong boundaries as possible and be as present and functional as possible. All right, good job. Woohoo. Woohoo. Okay, so your sleep slide, I have mentioned that. I discussed it a little bit in the before the healing started. I think there'll be a whole section on it, not giant, but where I discuss it. But it's your pathway to the astral. So when your body is asleep, you as a spirit, your astral body, you go to the astral. So technically, you astral travel every time you're asleep. It's not just a, once in a lifetime event or something. But you can imagine your sleep slide it's like stairway, but you just slide up it and then you slide back down when you wake up. And so you can imagine it and just unblock it so that there's nothing in the way. So like say if you wake up because you have to go to the bathroom, you want to be able to get back to sleep pretty easily when after you go to the bathroom and you come back to bed, right? So just imagine, are there any like big blockades that trigger when you're trying to get back to sleep on your sleep slide? Just melt those away. If there's any invasive beings connected to or affecting your sleep slide at all, you can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings affecting my sleep slide or affecting my sleep? And I had said we were going to clear past life oppression out away from your sleep slide. So I was looking at some sample people, and it's like they have, it kind of looks very like ominous, and like big dark stone steps, but like dark stone steps to like a haunted house or something, not like happy, to like your prison cell or something, So you don't want your sleep slide to have a prison cell vibe. For sure. So just melt away anything that's got like a prison-y kind of vibe on your sleep slide for sure. Even if you were literally in prison physically, like say you had to be in prison, but you're also listening to my videos, which I have not heard happen yet, but it could happen someday. You don't want prison energy on your sleep slide. So clear away any oppression energy from your sleep slide. Your sleep slide should be only for you. It's just your route to go with your angels to nice, safe, peaceful astral levels. You may have some people that have dumped like big sacks they look like big laundry bags of problems on your sleep slide. Like, you should solve this. This is what you should be thinking about. You should worry about this. So just melt all the problems that people have dumped on your sleep slide, if there are any. Because you want that route to be quick and easy. Now you're asleep. Now you're awake. Now you're asleep again. And it could be, to bring up politics again, just momentarily. I'm not going to discuss it in detail, but it could be that, you listen to political commentators or cultural commentators that, dredge up like the worst things that have happened lately in society. And you might have like representations of those awful, things on your sleep slide. So just clear out any kind of discrimination, any kind of oppression, any kind of judgments from people, any just societal yuckiness from your sleep slide. It should just be private and you, and just for you and your higher self, and be liberated. And doesn't mean you couldn't work on some kind of an anti-discriminatory thing on the astral with your angels, but if your sleep slide is sort of set to that tone, it can really affect your quality of sleep. So just wash out any sort of cultural problems, religious problems, whatever, civil rights problems. Wash all that off of your sleep slide. You could have relatives that have differing political views than you that are kind of invasive. Just clear everybody else's politics off of your sleep slide. And just, you can imagine like a gold ping pong ball, you know, that goes up and comes back down, that represents, okay, this is how easy it would be for me to go to sleep, you know, and just see, does the ping pong ball stop at some point because there's an obstacle there? You know, and that would be you not being able to go to sleep. So just clear out the obstacles so the ping pong ball can go all the way up to the astral. And look for the places that the ping pong ball kind of stops and gets stuck, and just melt away those issues. So your test ping pong ball can go all the way up really easily. And then you can have a test ping pong ball for you waking up. You want to be able to wake up without like having to come through a lot of drama and problems, because that can give you sort of anxiety thoughts or just negativity as you wake up, you know, in your conscious mind. So you can have a sample little ping pong ball, gold ping pong ball, and see, okay, as I'm waking up, going down my sleep slide, you know, is there anything that I'm colliding with, any problems or obstacles, and just melt all that away so that it's an easy route and the ping pong ball doesn't collide with any drama. And just keep doing that test ping pong ball and see if it gets caught up in any drama, and have the ping pong ball stop there, you know, rather than fight through it, so you can see, oh yeah, there's something there. You say, to angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my waking up process, can you please recycle them? Have your test ping pong ball, see if it can wake up better. All right. And so we're aiming for improvement, right? A healthy and gentle rate of improvement. We don't need perfection today. You know, you can save that for tomorrow. All right. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay, so your 4th layers of your auras go work with your 4th chakras. So your 4th chakras, they're right behind the microphone. That's right. You can't see me gesturing. So right in the center of your chest is where you have your 4th chakra. You have 2 of them, one for your physical body chakras, one for your astral body chakras. So astral body 4th chakra and a physical body 4th chakra. And they both help you with enthusiasm, motivation, positive thinking, self-love, compassion, all sorts of really important stuff. It's like a feel-good chakra. Very, very big difference when it's working versus when it's not working or it's blocked. So the 4th layer is, you know, the energy goes in the front of the 4th chakra, spins around in there, goes out the back of the 4th layer, and then wraps around through the 4th layer to come back in front, and then again goes in the back and goes around the front. So when it goes back and around, it can go down beneath your legs in your 4th layer, or around the side. And again, I will link below that 7 chakras or layers flow video set if you need that further explained. The flow between chakras and aura layers. But anyway, so imagine both your 4th chakras. Green is a nice color, any shade of green you want for your 4th chakras. So you can set both your 4th chakras to any shade of green you want. This is the basic chakra shape, an open cylinder. So set your 4th chakras to whatever shade of green you like and unblock them extra. It could be corked up in front or in back. Since fourth chakra has to do with motivation, compassion, a lot of people can try to manipulate you using your fourth chakra. So, like, you know, pull the heartstrings kind of a thing. Or, you know, just kind of help you to feel like that's not fair, you know, which, I mean, there are things in life that are objectively totally not fair, but again, it can be used to manipulate you, you know, the fourth chakra. So just meld cords from, you know, even people you agree with politically or culturally or whatever, just meld their cords so that you're not so easily manipulated, and unblock the front of your fourth chakra all the way out to your fourth layer. So this whole route, which I call your front fourth chakra river, as opposed to your back fourth chakra river. So just unblock both your fourth chakra rivers. And your fourth layers, especially up top. That was really the whole motivation for working your fourth, because I saw one guy in particular, his wife buys healings for him, and he's especially blocked right up here at the top of the. So mostly his mom's energy up there. But again, kind of like, you know, it's like, well, if she's always been there, do you really realize that you can clear her out? Maybe you don't. But sure enough, you can. So just the top of your fourth layer, just, it should be flowy, and like whatever shade of green you picked, it should be like flowy, flowy, flowy up there, not like hard and black. So if you find like a big lump up there, just say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this stuff, can you please recycle them? And then melt the people's cords out of that big lump of junk, and melt your own energy out of it. And that should blow it up at that point. If not, you can drag out the big lump. Say, angels, can you help me with that? You can have people's rules up there. Since fourth chakra, fourth layer has to do with motivation. Sometimes people don't want you to want certain things, you know. Like an example, when I was even in high school, but you know, certainly in college, you know, and beyond, I was very horny. And so part of what I wanted was to have lots of sex. And, you know, my birth mother was raised Roman Catholic, very, very like strict Roman Catholic. So she didn't want me to want to have sex, right? So that's one place that she could put that. She could put it also in the top of my second layer, but top of my fourth layer, because fourth layer has to do with enthusiasm, motivation, and I was very enthusiastic about having sex. So it could be that somebody doesn't want you to be enthusiastic about something, and so they put a big like no up here at the top of your fourth layer. So go ahead and melt away anyone's trying to kill your joy, rain on your parade, all those expressions, right? So just melt that away. You want flow, flow, flow. You want your enthusiasm all around you in your fourth layer. Right? So just melt away the doom and gloom or the no. I'm still enthusiastic about my sexuality, but I think at that young age, my genetic mother was much more monitoring me on that level than she is now. I think she's given up on that particular concept at this point. So anyway, unblock your fourth layers, both of them, your astral body fourth layer and your physical body fourth layer. Lots of gold light all the way through. Like you may have energy up here about studying, like that you were supposed to study and not think about boys or girls or not think about whatever you were thinking about at the time. So it could be, and just so you know, if you do have a young child, putting your energy in their space and study does not make them study. It just makes them feel ashamed for not studying. So, which is worse because then now they have two problems. They're not studying and they're stuck in shame. So just wash out that whole route above your head. Just wash out any blocks from anybody, including, former teachers and parents trying to get you to study. Just wash all that out because you want your energy flowing here so that you can be as functional as possible and as focused as possible. Because you might actually want to study now. But you need to be flowing up here in order to actually study. It's completely ironic. So just wash out blocks in your fourth layer, especially, but you can do that whole upper route from the top of your seventh all the way up to the edge of your auras up there. Woohoo. All right, good job. Okay, so clearing fear is always a good idea to do, because fear is just energy blocks that are blocking up your natural courage and your natural feelings of safety, your abundance, all that stuff. So clearing fear is always great, but clearing out other people's fear is especially useful because there's like a special, like, sort of way that you can get stuck. You can get more paralyzed if you have someone else's fear in your space. It just seems like extra insurmountable because they might be courting that fear and running their energy through it extra. And so then it feels like, oh no, I really can't do this. So bringing it back to productivity, that may be why you're not doing some of the things that you want to do on your to-do list, is because you have other people's fear in the way. So let's clear it. Technically, where would it be? It would probably most likely be in your first layer in your first chakra or your first chakra. So first chakra is at the base of the spine. You have two of them, one astral, one physical first chakra. And then first layer is the layer closest to your body. So you have a first layer of your astral body and first layer of your physical body. And like all the aura layers, it wraps all the way around, all the way. So red is an ideal color for your first chakra, I would say. So you can set your first chakras. Imagine them both, round open cylinder, but red, not yellow. Imagine them as your favorite shade of red. Set them to your favorite shade of red. And do any repair that's needed. Probably, hopefully none is needed because we already did chakra repair, but you never know. Repair it up. Gold light, melt away cords going into your first chakras. If you have any invasive beings cording your first chakras, which you may, you just say, angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are cording my first chakras? You could have being tunnels affecting your first chakra or your first layers. The thing to do with those is, you can ask your angels to recycle any invasive beings that are already come through the tunnel. So angels, if I have any being tunnels impacting my first chakras or my first layers, can you please recycle the beings that have come through the tunnels? Can you please recycle the tunnels and seal it all up? The being tunnels are just passageways for beings, but obviously not something you want. Right? So any being tunnels, you have your angels recycle the invasive beings that have come through them, and then have your angels recycle the tunnels themselves and seal everything up. And first chakra, there can be a lot of doomy, gloomy stuff, like grief can also, grief can be clogging up a whole bunch of different chakras. But first chakra is certainly one of the major ones. So just any heavy energy in your first chakras and your first layers. So especially right behind your first chakras and right in front of your first chakras, but you know, the whole layer too, but sometimes it's right there. So melt away the grief. And again, if you have any major energy blocks, you can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into these? And then you can notice the people that are hooked into them and just melt all those cords. And then melt yourself out, your own resistance, so that the blocks just dissolve. So you can especially notice, we don't have to imagine it like literal with the aura layers and the chakras now. You can just put the blocks out in front of you in a pile that are in the way of your productivity, like your own fear in the way of your productivity and other people's fear in your space in the way of productivity, and just kind of notice which pile is bigger. You know, is it other people's fear in your space in the way of productivity? How much of that's going on, and then your own fear in the way of your productivity. And you can say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this? So that way your angels will edit the piles if it's too much. And then you can bring up red earth energy from the center of the earth, soak the piles in red earth energy. You can use gold light to melt cords going into the piles from you or anybody else. And you can just blow up the piles or melt them fully with gold light. Take a couple deep breaths. So I think this is the last, oops, not that one. I think, oh, actually, yes, it is. Okay. That is what I wanted. It's just so jarring to see that guy's anatomy sometimes. All righty. So usually my favorite biker shorts image is not that one. It is this one. Oops. That one. That's my favorite image, of course. So biker shorts is shown right there. Okay, those are biker shorts, right? So that whole area that would be covered by biker shorts, that's what I like unblocking all at once, because it really gives you a lot of staying power in your own physical body, and it allows you to just be a lot harder to manipulate, a lot harder to get stuck in fear. If you can unblock that area and really be there as a spirit, really own your biker shorts area. And the biker shorts points are just, you know, all those cool acupuncture points right there. And also behind too, there are some really cool ones in back, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But let's unblock these points. So just like we did with base of skull points earlier. So just lots of gold light, and just imagine your version of this, you know, your body, your physical body in the front, and all those cool acupuncture points. That midline one going upward, that's the governing vessel meridian. I'm sorry. conception vessel meridian, also called the Ren meridian, but I usually don't use that word. My acupuncturist uses that word. Ren meridian. Ren is probably, much more accurate. But conception vessel is the English word for it. The midline one, CV meridian. And then the orange line, that's kidney meridian, part of the kidney meridian. The green line that goes straight up and down there, both branches, that's the stomach meridian. And then the purple one is spleen meridian. It goes upward. And that cool fluorescent green one, the zigzaggy, I believe that one's the spleen meridian. No, liver meridian. Those points are pretty awesome too. Could acknowledge those as well. So, and that zigzaggy, sort of purplish, bluish, like turquoisey one. I believe that's the gallbladder one. That's just a little tiny part of the gallbladder meridian. Anyway, just comb through all these. You don't have to know the names or even the direction of flow. Just comb through them, and you want to comb through and catch any energy blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, and just pull them out. And also the auras right in front of these points, and just catch up the energy blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, and then get a big mass of them and just say, angels, is it okay to clear all this right now? And then, angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings hooked into all this junk? That way you're getting the drama out of the way, and then just melt the cords from people going into these blocks. And then melt the blocks. So one more time, comb through all these front biker shorts points and get the energy blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of in the meridians, in the points, and also in front of the points in those auras. All right, and then drag that out. Say, angels, can you recycle all the invasive beings hooked into this stuff? And then just comb through all that junk, melt away cords from other people, wash your own energy out of it. So that just melts all away. Any of it doesn't melt, just give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? You want staying power, right? You want to be able to stay here because say you do want to accomplish something, productivity wise, or you want to have peaceful sleep. You need to be able to be here and have it be peaceful and calm and safe and productive, right? So you can just unblock the Wei Qi auras in front of this area, a little extra, to help you with good, peaceful sleep and also determination and focus for your productivity. I'm going to clear what's healthy and gentle. All right, so that was working your front biker shorts points. All right, so we'll just do some standard stuff to wrap up. Unprocessed stress pots. You don't have literal pots in your space, but it's a easy way to represent your ability to handle new stressors. And are you caught up processing what you've already been through and what you're currently experiencing? If you're not caught up with processing that stuff, you kind of feel full, like, oh my God, I can't handle another thing, I swear. Right? So you want to catch up on the processing, which is much easier than putting it off. So then you feel ready for whatever comes your way, right? So just imagine this capacity for you to handle new stressors as these unprocessed stress pots, kind of like a waiting area for you to finish clearing stuff. And just imagine how many pots do you have? Do you have 40? Do you have 10? Do you have 15? Whatever. And just, are they empty or are they full? Or are they half full? You want them all to be empty. So just use gold light and melt away the contents. You can bring up red earth energy so they're all grounded. Melt cords going into them from other people. I've said this before, but I have a dental hygienist that I've gone to several times, and she always cords me. And I find her cording my unprocessed stress pots while she's cleaning my teeth. You may have somebody like that that's cording your unprocessed stress pots, and that's impacting your ability to process stress. So just melt all those cords away, and then melt whatever's in your unprocessed stress pots, just melt it all away. So that way you're caught up, you're ready for what's next. All right, good enough. So now STEBs stands for stubborn triggered energy blocks. And so it's stuff that's still triggered in your space, despite the amazing things that we've done to clear. So just stack up out in front of you in as many piles as necessary. All your stubborn triggered energy blocks are still bothering you on any level. And just bring up red earth energy and soak all these piles in red earth energy and gold light. Melt cords going into these piles from other people. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in these blocks, can you please recycle them? And then you can blow up the blocks or just let them melt as you wash your energy out of them. And if any of them are still there and not going away, just give them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with these? One more time, a little faster. Just any stubborn triggered energy blocks you still have. Red earth energy, gold light. And blow them up or let them melt away. And then hand the leftovers to your angels. Angels, can you help me with these? And then just say hi to your body, all your 7 major astral chakras, your 7 major physical body chakras. Just help them all to work together. Let them align. Let them kind of sync up. All the chakras in your body, all the chakras in your astral body. Just let them all harmonize and work together. Comb through all your auras. Comb through above the top of your aura. So if the top of your aura is here, above there, you may have some heavy stuff just stuck there. Just melt all that away. Any blocks that you have above the top of your auras away. Then we'll recreate your groundings, both of them. Unblock them with gold light. All right. Great job. Woohoo. So that's a healing. You're a rock star. Woohoo. Yay. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay. So the healing is done. I'm going to do 2 things right now. 3 things. First, I will stretch for a moment, and you can stretch too if you want, if you've been seated for a while. Then I will do a cat update to show you photos of our new cat. And then 3, I will do some chat comments, as many as I feel like doing, because I just did a big healing, so we'll see. But if you have a comment about how the healing was for you, or you have a follow-up question about a concept that I discussed in this healing, you could post it. If you just have general questions about energy, you could post it under any video at any time, and I'll post a reply when I have time. So first, stretching moment. You know, some easy, safe stretches for you. Go for it. And you can continue to give yourself a little massage. Maybe, you know, that point, there's, I think this is large intestine 4 right here in between is your large intestine meridian. I think it starts in your index finger. It goes up and there's a point here, large intestine 4. That's kind of important. You can just massage there a little bit if you want. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the stretching moment, or at least tolerated it. So now, okay, so I'm saying meet BooBoo Kitty, but she's not coming like on the counter to see you yet. Not for perhaps quite a while. We'll see. But I do have photos of her, and she is in our house now. There's a big story with it. So that's BooBoo Kitty. That was that was like just a couple, she's in shock right there. That was a couple moments after I brought her in the house for the very first time. I basically tricked her to come in the house. And she has cobwebs all over her head right there because she was kind of freaked out, and she was in our mud room, which is like this entryway room. And she was like sticking her head. She was looking for a way to escape. And so she was sticking her head in like all the dustiest parts of the mudroom, like under a shelving unit and behind a dryer. And so that's her just in total shock. Like, what have you done? Are you like, where am I? What's going on? So that's her adorable shock look right there. And then this goes back a little bit historically. So this is, we were feeding her outdoors. She is just an unowned stray cat. We don't think she's feral. We think that at some point when she was young, somebody maybe owned her and she was like their indoor outdoor cat, and they have since abandoned her because she definitely didn't have anywhere to shelter. Like, in the middle of like freezing cold nights, she had nowhere. So this is in our carport and outside. And this is like a bin that we use to keep bottles in for recycling. And I had an old cardboard box there with some gardening, like some bulbs that I had not gotten around to planting. So there was just a cardboard box right there, and she started sleeping in it. And my husband noticed that, and we're like, oh my gosh, you know, there's this cat and she clearly has nowhere to go because it'd be like freezing out or below freezing in the middle of the night. And here she is like curled up in this little cardboard box that we just happened to have there. So what we did is we got this heated little house for her. We bought it on Amazon, and we started feeding her every night so that, you know, we thought, well, if she's friendly enough, we'll make her our indoor only cat eventually, you know? And so this was one time when we were feeding her. And so we'd come out like in the middle of the night and sit out there in the freezing cold. And, you know, she would eventually come out and eat. And then she would go back into her little house, you know? And so that's her, you know, being all cautious in her little heated house. And that's the wet food that we would give her. And okay, so this is after I trapped her. This is probably like a couple days later. She's sort of chilling out. I had already fed her. This is our laundry room, mud room, we call it. But it's basically where we have our laundry machines. And then we have like some hanging clothes you see there. And then we have like the shelving unit with, you know, a bunch of stuff, like a pantry, kind of like an extra pantry. And so anyway, so she basically owns that room now temporarily while we're getting her dewormed. And, you know, there's like a sort of like a quarantine period that she's in. So she's only in this room. And so we call that, the blanket that she's on, that's her patio. So we call it her catio. And then the little cat bed there, we call that the penthouse. So that's her penthouse. We call that just as like a cute little name. It's like a little cat bed. She doesn't even fit well in it because she's actually pretty big. We think she's pretty young, but she's a big girl. We think she's a girl. We don't even know for sure. But we haven't brought her to the vet yet because we have to get her like more friendly, like more confident in us. Because if we brought her right now, she'd just never forgive us because she's barely forgiven us for bringing her indoors in the first place. So anyway, and here's her again with her little shocked, like, oh my God, how is this door not opening again so I can go outside again? I love that look. She's so cute. But anyway, that's with all the cobwebs, of course, but it shows like a kind of an accurate coat color for her. Like she does have she's like all gray, but it's kind of like a silvery gray. Very cute. But anyway, so that's BooBoo Kitty. Lorenzo, my husband, named her. Was the driving force behind all this. I was kind of into the whole less pets, less responsibility concept, but he very much likes the whole cat on your lap concept. So anyway, so he named BooBoo Kitty, and BooBoo Kitty is his cat, technically speaking. Hopefully she will bond to him much more than to me, so that he will have to do all the care for her. Those are my legs. That's my foot right there next to her. So anyway, that's BooBoo Kitty. Now you've met her. So she just needs to be we need to deworm her again, I think. I think you have to deworm them twice because she was outdoors eating all sorts of rats and whatever. So God knows what that did to her intestines, So she's been dewormed once. I tricked her into eating the deworming pills, barely. And so then that was like almost a week ago now. So then we gotta wait and do another deworming 2 weeks after the first one. And then we gotta have her tested, like a fecal test, to make sure that she doesn't have parasites and awful things, because otherwise, when she's in the regular part of the house, she's going to be sharing pillows and whatever with our dog, and I don't want, he's got enough medical problems as it is, so we got to make sure she's 100% before but she did we're assuming she had fleas, but we've taken care of the fleas already. We gave her different flea medications and tricked her into eating them and all that, whatever. So that's that. So that's enough for the cat stuff. So now the actual regular chat comments. So again, I do not promise to read all of them right now. But if I miss one of them and you wanted me to look at it, you can post it again under the video once it's a video, and I will get to it when I have time. So reading the ones that I missed. Someone says, I'm stopping. That's fine. Someone says, thanks for all you do. You're welcome. Someone says, hello. Pretty sure I got whacked on top of the head by my dad. LOL. Right as I remembered there was a live stream. That's funny. Yes, that's true. Tuning in from Southwest Michigan, 27 degrees Fahrenheit and partially cloudy. So pretty cold. Sorry about that. Someone says, hello, Janet. Happy to see you. Tuning in late today. The healing has inspired me to channel heavy emotions through creative writing, so I'm very refreshed now. Oh, isn't that nice? Thank you. How did I do today with the healing? You did well. I think, that good karma window, the 7th good karma window work, you could definitely keep doing that one. That could be interesting to see, how much you like that work and how it goes for you if you do extra with that. Yeah. I mean, clearing out other people's fear though too, that's, you could do that extra also. Someone says, thank you for the healing, Janet. You're welcome. I feel this entire healing very intensely, especially the good karma window part. Hopefully you mean intensely good. Intensely can mean many things. How did I do? I was feeling great and motivated on Tuesday and then felt tanked up until this healing. How did I do? You did well. You could keep unblocking. Remember the last healing in the twin set, January twin set, we did unblocking the left shoulder, just above the left shoulder, so you can bring in new energy down this route too. Because new energy, people bring it in several ways. One is straight down this way, one is straight in through the shoulders, and one is through the good karma windows. So you could keep unblocking above, really both shoulders, astral and physical, but more your left shoulder. I think the thing about we did right before the end, clearing out other people's fear, that could be interesting for you to keep doing. I mean, of course, the good karma, the 7th good karma window stuff as well, but clearing out other people's fear, you know, that could be really interesting for you to keep doing that. Someone says, but I'm glad the healing helped. Someone says, thanks, Janet, feeling better. Back has been hurting. Think coworker wax. And you mentioned a bunch of people's names. Any angel advice? Yeah, I would just say maybe just work that the 7th good karma window stuff, because that is because it's like you kind of match, well, not on purpose, but the wax tend to go in very well, you know, fully. Maybe it's possible that your Wei Chi auras aren't strong enough, you know, because Wei Chi auras, you have 15 of them, and they're supposed to be, you know, really helping you to kind of buffer the wax. So you could work on, like urinary bladder meridian. I mean, if, no, you could work on all of them. Yeah, all your Wei Chi auras. Just work on them more. You know, unblock the gold mesh spheres, all the ones in the back. We did it, for those of you that doesn't make sense, it's part of, we did it today in the aura repair section towards the end. We repaired and unblocked the gold mesh spheres of the Wei Chi auras. But yeah, because it doesn't seem like your Wei Chi auras generate as much as they could. Gold light, they generate like maybe like a third of the volume of gold light that they could. And I think if you just kept working that, they could generate a lot more, and then it would just make the wax not go in as easily. The people that you mentioned, initials JC, BG, and yeah, those two stand out the most. There, it seems like your flowers for them aren't really working. Those conflict resolution flowers. Mine work for them, but yours don't. I think you come off as like a little condescending when you make the flowers. Like it's accidental, but there's like this sort of, you know, you should know better kind of a vibe that goes in the flowers. So maybe make special flowers for the people that you are still whacking, and wash out any condescension, any sort of hierarchy or judgments in the flowers before you give them to your angels, because the angels will edit them, but I guess only to a point. So, yeah. So, yeah, so strengthen your Wei Qi auras so they generate more gold light, and then wash out any condescension or hierarchy or judgment out of your angel-assisted conflict resolution flowers. All right, someone says, thank you so much. I feel much better. Oh, good. I'm glad the healing helped. I haven't been able to self-heal at all lately. Hold on one sec. I have to try to ask my husband to take out our dog. Please. Thanks. He had a ton of water. Izzy, go outside. Izzy. All right, let's see. Someone says, okay, I feel much better. I haven't been able to heal myself at all lately. I did have one of my friends in my mind a lot throughout the healing and not as intense now. Are my boundaries better? Yeah. I think you kind of got on a side road of your path. Like, there's your spiritual path. It's a road that's just for you, represents what you're meant to learn and experience in this life. But you can get like lost on a side road. And I think the whole thing of where you were like, I haven't been able to heal myself at all. I mean, there's like, I feel great. I totally have my space. And so I haven't been spending time on meditation, but it doesn't look like that. It looks like I really could have used like 5 or 10 minutes and I just didn't. Like really, really could have used. So it looks like you were like some kind of a distraction that just kind of you got caught up in. So maybe like if you could develop like a minimum that you would do, like maybe 30 seconds or 10 seconds even of gold light, washing everybody out, that kind of idea, or like one tricolor earth energy soak, or just a one color earth energy soak. Just, redo your grounding, red or orange or yellow, bring up that color of earth energy and soak in it and leave it up, just some like bare minimum level. Or like, if you like blowing things up, just blow up all your baggage in your way, some like low level bar that's like, I'm definitely going to do this today, even if I have 50 kids and 0 sleep. You know what I mean? Like just some kind of bottom rung that is not 0. Okay, hope that helps. But yeah, your boundaries after the healing are better than they were before. But there's a 7-minute grounding video in that short video playlist that's featured on my YouTube page. There's a 7-minute grounding video that has grounding and then a little repair of arms and legs energy leaks. That could be a nice like minimum. But again, if 7 minutes is too much, make a 20-second minimum. That's just a freestyle one for yourself. But yeah, hope that helps. Someone says, was happy I could tune in while I worked from home today. Yeah, that's cool. I have been in 7 through 3 mostly lately. Look at you. Have a goal to be in 7 through 1 most days. Yes. Besides just being consistent with working my energy every day, any suggestions? No, that sounds like a good plan. You could add stretching to that too, just a little bit, even like just, that's the tiny amount that I did in between the healing and this discussion chat. But yeah, just add in a little stretching too. Even if it's just the teeniest, teeny bit, like standing up stretching. Like I have there's this, yeah, I mean, just, little teeny stuff. All right. Someone says, thank you, Jana. I was following along with you on the repair of Good Karma windows at the initial stage, and I saw in small scale lots of dark on the first window, and I continue to start from the 7th. I do that a lot in my meditation, and I do work a lot on denial and avoidance blocks. What else is rooted in this issue? So I'm not sure what your question is. I mean, we worked all of them, and then we focused on the 7th window. The reason we focused on the 7th and not the 1st is because I noticed that the 7th window is more important for overall boundaries and safety, because it's like the first line of defense. You know, your 7th layer is the outermost layer. So, but can you do that depth of work on the 1st good karma window? Sure, if you want. Yeah, that'd be cool. Absolutely. But if you're only motivated to do one of them, do the 7th good karma window, because it can help all of them, because it's the first line of defense. So I'm not sure if that was your question, but hopefully it answers your question. You say, what is rooted in this issue? I have no idea what the issue is, so I don't know what your question is. But you can feel free to post a follow-up if you want under a video at some other time. So this is, hello, just wanted to check in to see how I did in the healing and how many chakras I'm in, BooBoo. I did in the healing and how many chakras I'm in. You were actually one of the sample people. I mean, there was a whole bunch of sample people I looked at when designing the healing, but you were one of them. And thank you for your survey feedback from the last healing. You could redo the good karma window 7th work, but if that's too much, you don't have to redo it. But also clearing out other people's fear, which we did towards the very end, that's something that you could redo. I think that had something to do with your aversion to working your energy at all, was that you had other people's fear in your space, and so it got triggered in a very intense way when you started to notice your space. So if you want, you can just remind yourself, hey, this is fear, but it's not my fear, you know, and maybe that'll help you to like at least do maybe a tricolor earth energy soak or something. Just keep reminding yourself, hey, this is fear, but it's not mine. Hey, Lorenzo, can you put his comb back on? Thank you. Alrighty. But right now you are in 7 through 3. Before the healing, like, you know, like 2 hours before the healing, you were in 7 and 6 only. And sometimes lately you've been in 7 and 6 only, or 7, 6, 5, 4 only. But right now you're in 7 through 3 after the healing. All right. Someone else is saying BooBoo Kitty. BooBoo Kitty's got a good fan club already. Gorgeous kitty. Thank you. BooBoo Kitty is beautiful. My daughter named one of our cats BooBoo. Well, see, now there's another. Catio, LOL. BooBoo is so sweet. Yes, she is. We'll see if it's a she or a he, but we're gonna assume she for now. So it says, hi, Janet. Thanks. I've felt kind of off lately. Have I been present and on my path? And you ask about your husband's career progress. You've been on your path. It's just sometimes you stop and you're kind of like not moving forward and you kind of look around. It's like you're not sure which way is forward sometimes when you stop like that. At those times, you could ask your angels, say, okay, I'm going to let my angels hold my hands and guide me forward. You know, just with your intention, say something like that. Okay, I'm going to let my angels hold my hands and guide me forward. Because technically, you can still move forward on your path, even if subconsciously you don't see the way forward, because your angels can walk you forward through the cloudiness. And that way you can not be at a total standstill. So that could be something you try next time you feel that way, just, or even when you feel great, you know, out of practice, just say, oh, okay, I'm going to let my angels help me to progress forward so that it's more natural for you. So then when you don't have clarity, even subconsciously, you still, you know, let your angels help you move forward. Is he making career progress, your spouse? Astrally, yes. Physically, it's very stop and start. He's working on it though. He'll move forward like 2 steps and then he'll stop for a little bit. And then he'll move forward 3 steps and he'll stop for a little bit. And then he'll move forward 1 step and then he'll stop for a little bit. So yes, he is making progress. Someone says, Janet the trickster. Oh, about getting the cat indoors. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Janet. Thank you so much for the healing. My sister was in my space a lot this week. That's true, but I feel great now. Do my angels have any advice for what I should work on this month? I think that 7th good karma window stuff, I don't know if you like it consciously, but that could be really interesting for you. Because, your dad and your sister can be real backseat drivers in your life. And so that could be pretty fascinating to work that seventh good karma window more, because it's like it really redefines how strong your boundaries are. Well, it can. So that could be, there's more mileage you could get out of that. I mean, the clearing out other people's fear and the front biker shorts points that we did at the end, towards the end, I mean, that all is good for, boundaries with your sister. But that 7th window, good karma window stuff, it could be really interesting to work more, I think. This is so cute, BooBoo Kitty. Yes, she is so cute. In her little penthouse. She also has a carrier that I didn't show that's on the floor, and she likes that a lot. And there are lots of pillows, lots of towels folded up in that, so it's very cushy. And she likes that because it's an enclosed space. I didn't show a photo of that one because you can't really see her very well in it, but she likes that a lot too. And she has a scratching post in there, and we try to make it nice for her, even though it's just one room. But they say that that's better for them to give them a small territory at first anyway. Because they are always thinking that there's some predator, and so if they have a small territory, it's easier for them to check and make sure there's no, lions and tigers and bears. Someone says, thanks. You're welcome. Someone says, sorry, intensely meant good. Oh, nice. I did not know. I felt like cement was being removed from my space in a good way. Oh, with the healing. Well, good. This says, thank you for the healing, Janet. How did I do? Anything I can work on? I felt pretty overwhelmed pre-healing, and now I'm feeling pretty chill. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was thinking about you at one point in the healing, because sometimes you do that thing where it's like you release too much beyond the healthy and gentle, so then you have what other people call like a healing crisis, and you have some like weird physical symptoms with a healing, which, is not ideal. So just a reminder, I was kind of reminding your spirit during the healing, like, okay, dial it back, healthy and gentle amount of releasing at one time. Because then if you do too much, then you get that, whatever, like extreme symptoms. And then it like trips you up for a while. So you lose the momentum because you did too much, and then you have to handle what you just did, So just maybe just kind of notice in whatever way you want, like a bar chart or some kind of graph or something. Are you clearing and releasing at a healthy and gentle amount, and just keep it right at that, don't let it go too much, and don't let yourself get shut down and you're doing too little, so maybe just you could keep checking that, like maybe twice a day, and just see, am I clearing and releasing and nourishing at my healthy and gentle amount? And just, you can wash everybody out, of your space, so that you're right, you're nailing it right at that healthy and gentle amount. I mean, I sound like a broken record, but again, that 7th good karma window, if you have the patience for doing a little more of that, you could still do more with that, over time. Like maybe not now, this minute, but because we did enough healthy and gentle to do right now. So maybe, after a good night's sleep, you could do a little more if you want. If you want, it's optional, of course. But that would be your angel pick. Someone says, would you have any additional tips in reminding my dad and mom about healthy boundaries? There's a way in which, like, you get caught up in this, oh, but they're so nice. Oh, but they love me so much. And it's like you're not quite standing tall, like on a spirit level. Like, I don't know how tall you are inches wise, but you know what I mean? Like standing straight up and kind of owning your seventh chakra and like your power and your boundaries. Cause you're kind of like, oh, but they're nice. Oh, but they love me. They've done so much for me, and it's like it just gives you this weird sort of, it kind of enables them a little bit. I don't mean to blame the victim at all. I mean, sure, they do have a flimsy understanding of boundaries, but I think if you just owned it more, like, okay, it doesn't matter if they're nice. It doesn't matter, it's just my space is my space, my free will is my free will, because I think that's sort of, they get you into this, I mean, your attitude towards them gets you into this real gray area where you're like, but I love them. And it's like, well, yeah, it's okay to love them, but you don't have to get smushed and railroaded because you love them. So I guess just clear baggage so that you can still have boundaries even with people you love. There's something around that where it's just like you get into this conflict within yourself about it. I think, your parents, they do mean well. And I think if you just own it more, then their wax or cords or whatever wouldn't get in anywhere near as much as they do. So yeah, just kind of work your ability to stand tall, spiritually speaking. All right. Someone says, wow, this whole time I thought that was my own fear. Yeah, no, it wasn't. It's like some kind of genetic relatives or something. Yeah, that other people's fear, it feels the most potent. So it's like if you feel totally paralyzed, it's probably not your fear. Let's just thank you for the feedback. I usually was pretty good at self-healing, but felt like I dropped all that knowledge somewhere. I will work on staying on my path. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah. So yeah, if your self-healing like goes out the window, but you need it, like I said, it's one thing if you're not self-healing, but you feel like $1,000,000 freaking bucks, you're getting everything done, and your angels are like, you rock star, then okay, but if you need it, but you're not doing it, then ask your angels, like, angels, help me get back on my path. Angels, help me to move forward. Help me to get on track. Yeah, hope that helps. Okay, great. My light went out. The battery needs to be charged. Alrighty. In case you're wondering why the lighting shifted. So I will show Izzy momentarily, just real quickly. Let me get my papers away first. So Izzy's been okay. He is itchy though. I need to bathe him again. I've bathed him so many times because he had fleas at one point, so I had to keep bathing him. And then we don't think he has fleas anymore, but he has some kind of a skin issue where he's still very itchy. And so I have these medicated shampoos, and I've already used them once, but I think it's the kind of thing where you have to keep doing it. So we're in progress with all that. So I'm going to show you. He's wearing his cone. It looks kind of funny. So there's my baby boy. Doesn't he look cute? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Such a cutie pie. Oh, look at him. Oh, he's so cute. So this actually, that behind that door, that's where BooBoo is. BooBoo's in there. And so he knows his sister is in there, and he hears her because she meows. Like during the night, she'll just meow and I'll meow back and stuff. So he knows his sister is back there, but he hasn't met her in person yet. Or you know what I mean? But they definitely hear each other. But anyway, so he's walking around because he wants me to play fetch with him. But anyway, so that's my boy looking all cute and feeling itchy. Poor baby. If only it was a simple fix. Oh, so cute. Alrighty, so that was the Izzy cam. So I'll finish up with one more comment. It says, oh, wow, about fear. Sometimes I feel totally paralyzed with fear. Good to know it's other people's. Yeah, typically it's not your fear. Typically, yeah, if it was just your fear, it would be like a certain level. But if it's, I mean, it could be other people plugging into your fear. But the most intense is it's not even your fear and other people are plugged into it. That's like real super freak out. And it's not even your energy. It's like some block from somebody else and other people are courting it. So it's like a little fear fest. So yeah, you just remind yourself, this is not my fear. This is not my fear, you know, and just walk yourself through clearing it and doing your earth energy, getting your legs back, getting your biker shorts back. Alrighty. Cool. You guys are amazing. Next healing is in 2 days on Sunday, the 9th of February, and then the 11th of February. And then if you did want to purchase any upcoming set of healings, that is my website address, jwhealing.com. All right, you are so amazing. Take care. Bye. Oh, we'll end with some confetti because I'm addicted to confetti.